Hi LEGO fans, it's Brickheadz time again, and LEGO have just released 2 new sets to coincide with the release of the new Star Wars movie. Solo, a Star Wars story, is scheduled for release in late May, and today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building, and reviewing set number 41608 Han Solo and set number 41609 Chewbacca, or at least I think it's Chewbacca. Even though the Han Brickhead is based on the young Han Solo played by Alden Ehrenreich, it still looks like Han Solo. Now if the box art is to be believed, Chewbacca hasn't aged a day in about 40 years, so the Brickhead Chewbacca should be quite recognisable. However, I don't know who signed off on this design. It sure looks like a lot of things, but it doesn't look like Chewbacca. Each one of these sets has a pretty good part count for a Brickhead set. Han weighs in with 141 pieces, and Chewbacca has slightly more with 149. As confirmed by the box art on the side, these are definitely based on the Solo characters. Although in the case of Chewbacca, I use the word based very loosely. The back of the box indicates these might be the only 2 characters we're going to see from the Solo movie, although we are expecting some more Star Wars Brickheads later in the year, including the eagerly anticipated Darth Vader. As always with licensed Brickheads, we are going to get some exclusive printed pieces, one for Han's shirt, and another for Chewie's hairy chest and bandolier. My early impressions on these sets are very mixed. I think Han Solo looks great, he looks really like the character, and it looks like there's some great detailing in the hair. Chewbacca on the other hand just looks plain odd, but hopefully that's just the photograph doing him an injustice, and he'll look a lot better when we get him out of the box and get him built. I am going to be doing a speed build and a comprehensive review of both Brickheads, but before we do, let's open up these boxes and see what we've got inside. Here's everything that came inside both of those boxes. We got 4 bags of Lego, 2 in each box, 2 instruction manuals, and 2 identically sized 6x6 base plates. I'm going to go ahead and build Han Solo and Chewie, and today this is going to be a 60-second speed build. Chewie didn't turn out quite as bad as I feared, but this was definitely not a banner day for the Brickheadz design team. Build time on each of these Brickheads was about 18 minutes, and these were definitely not too challenging to put together. Let's take a closer look, starting with the Han Solo Brickhead. I'm actually pretty pleased with the way Han turned out. He manages to pull off the young Han Solo look, and even resembles the star of the movie, Alden Ehrenreich. The details are pretty faithful, including Han's belt and his blaster holster. And then we have his brown jacket and shirt with open collar, which are really nice printed details. The face itself is pretty generic with those creepy Brickhead's eyes, but the sculpting in the hair looks great and nails it in terms of resemblance to the character. From the side you can see more of the sculpting in the hair build, and the only thing I don't like about this is the large bump on the back of Han's head. I just think this lacks a little finesse from the side view. Like most Brickheads, Han has clips for hands, and in this case this hand is down at his side. From the other side you can see we've got a different position for the hand, and he's holding his trademark blaster. The only question is, who shot first? Speaking of which, wouldn't you like to see a Greedo Brickheadz? That would be awesome. Han's blaster is a fairly simple build. It consists of a standard LEGO blaster element with a few extra elements for detail. The hair sculpting on the back looks great, and you don't notice the extent of the hair protrusion. No printed details here, but we do get some really nice coloured elements. So while Han might not be the most exciting LEGO Brickhead ever produced, it is very faithful to the character from the movie, and it's a very sound, competent Brickheadz build. However, every silver lining has a cloud, and the Chewbacca Brickheadz build has definitely had a mixed response from the LEGO community. My impressions of this build when it was first announced were not good. In fact, it may be fair to say I called this an abomination. For such a popular character to come to Brickheadz form, I was really expecting something amazing, and this didn't really do that. The main problem with this Chewbacca build is that it doesn't really capture the essence of all the hair that covers Chewbacca. He's just too round and shiny. But in any case, he deserves closer inspection. Chewie's colour scheme really complements Han. They both use lots of the same coloured elements. And we do have a really nice printed piece at the front for his bandolier over his hairy chest. The bandolier, of course, being the strap that goes across the front of his chest, carrying those shells. The face remains faithful to Brickhead's design patterns with those spooky soulless eyes. Although I think this might be the first Brickhead with a nose. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments down below. However, when it came to the top of Chewbacca's head, the Brickheadz design book was thrown out of the window, and the designers attempted to give Chewbacca a more rounded head. There are some interesting elements used here, but ultimately Brickheads are meant to be blocky, and I'm not sure this deviation from the design pattern did Chewie any favours. He kind of sits halfway between a Brickheadz character and something that's more realistic, and I do wonder whether the designers originally intended for the rounded pieces at the top to be printed up to resemble Chewie's hair. I think that could have looked better. The side view shows some interesting texturing, but my eyes are drawn to the rounded piece at the top, which just doesn't fit the Brickhead styling. And if we turn him around, he's got a slightly larger blaster with his hand drawn ready to shoot. One thing I do like is the use of the additional printed piece on the back for the rear of the bandolier and his fur. Apart from that, the back view suffers from the same conceptual design problems. The other fundamental problem with the Chewbacca Brickhead is that Chewbacca is enormous. He stands 7 feet and 6 inches high. Han Solo, on the other hand, stands at about 5'11". So in the movies, Chewbacca is more than 18 inches taller than Han, and that scale isn't reflected in this build. Chewie is slightly bigger, but should be significantly bigger, and maybe, just maybe, that makes him a poor candidate for turning into a Brickhead. But what do you think? Feel free to share your comments about Chewbacca and Han in the comment section below, and maybe we'll get some lively debate going. One thing that's very different about the Han and Chewbacca Brickheads, and also the 4 Infinity War Brickheads which I recently reviewed, is the lack of the Brickheadz plate on the display stand. Up to now, every Brickhead had one of these printed display tiles on the display stand, just like the one you can see the Joker rocking here now. But in the latest wave of Brickheads, these are gone, although I do expect to see these on the later seasonal Brickheads that are due out later in the year. So finally reunited in Brickheadz form, we have partners in crime Han Solo, set number 41608, and 41609 Chewbacca. Brickheads are definitely a love or hate thing. Some people love Brickheads, some people hate them, but Chewbacca is definitely going to put the cat among the pigeons. But what do you think about Chewbacca? Have the Brickheadz designers done a good job of recreating this classic character? Or does he have a face only a mother could love? Whatever you think to these guys, I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing, speed build and review video. And if you did, please don't forget to leave a like down below, and if you've not already done so, subscribe for more awesome new LEGO videos twice every week. Thanks for checking out today's Brickheadz review, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next build video.